Gentlemen.
Hello, this is Brian Rowe from Mythic MTG Tech looking at the top 10 Dimir Commander cards. Ooh, we got a lot to go through here, and this is one of my absolute favorite color combinations out there. Now, my criteria may break down a little bit. I'm still going to try to stay under 20, but with Dimir, it's not the nicest guild. Some of the cards we're going to play here might not be fun for all, or could have some combo bait stuff. I tried to stay away from the horrible combo stuff, but there's a little bit that's stuck in here. Honorable mentions, lots of them. Maybe this is just because I love Dimir, but Ashiok looks like it has amazing potential in EDH. Probably will make the list here in a few months after I get a chance to play it a little bit more, but it comes down so early, almost always turn 2 in EDH, and then you start exiling your opponent's cards, and if you've got the right color combination, even playing their cards. Nightveil Spectre is another one that's making a little bit of splash in Standard. He's also very playable in EDH. River of Tears, for those of you who don't want to drop the $200 on a Underground Sea, River of Tears is just an amazing card. It produces blue unless there's been a landfall in which it produces black. So basically on your opponent's turn, you're always producing blue, which is what you want for counter spells, and you can control the switch to black pretty easily. Counter Wall is a little bit mean, counter a non-creature spell, and controller loses 2 life, but it just feels so Dimir. And Limdol's Vault, I don't care for tutor effects usually, but this one, you're losing some life, you're cycling through your whole deck. Please cast it on your opponent's turn, though, because it takes a hell of a long time for you to resolve. Shadow of Doubt makes me so happy whenever somebody plays Natural Order or something else and then they can't search their library. Mind Lichmass. Very cool feeling card. If it had 3 less in the casting cost, it would have made the top 10. Little high on the casting cost here. But whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may look at that player's hand, and if you do, you may play a non-land card in it without paying the mana cost. This thing is nuts in EDH. Give it a shot, especially if you can cheat it out some way. Number 10 here, Duskmantle Seer. People either love this card or hate this card. I've definitely seen people flip Eldrazi on the other side of this and just cry. You better kill them quickly or have some amazing control, though, when you put this into play, because it can come back to bite you, but it's got a wonderful mechanic. It hits everybody out there. Oona would probably be number 1 if I didn't have the no combo bait as one of the criteria. She's an amazing commander, great build around, may have seen a lot of abuse, though, in my particular play group, which is why she's down here a little bit further. The number 8 spot here, this guy is my favorite. I've got a Sygg deck, but it's not a nice deck. This is the deck I pull out when I know that everybody else at the table is a legacy player, and I need to be able to control the entire table if I'm going to have any chance at winning, because they're going to be doing graded combos on turn 3 and turn 4. Sygg, massive card advantage, suit him up with a sword, and that boy beats down. Tezzeret Agent of Bolas. Oh, this is what I really like. I actually wish he was a commander. One of the reasons I like playing Commander EDH, where you have a Planeswalker as your general. Build around card. Most decks he's not good in, but when you build around him, you can do massive amounts of damage with his ultimate. You can draw an extra card every turn, and you can turn the smaller artifacts that you've got into pretty amazing blockers. Number 6 spot, Baleful Strix. If this was a legacy constructed list, this would be number 1 by far. Yes, it's only a 1/1. But it's flying. It's Death Touch. It will block anything. It means that people are going to attack someone else because nobody wants to lose their commander to this little 1/1. I love this card. Definitely play him. He goes in the Tez deck we just saw. Number 5 spot here, Notion Thief. Lots of people are afraid to play this guy because of Con Sphinx. Just put some instant speed removal in your deck, and it turns into you drew your whole deck, and you killed him before too many triggers go on the stack. Technically, you're going to have to draw like half your deck and find it in the first half while the other triggers stack up. But when he works, he just shuts down the ridiculously abusive cards that are out there where people are trying to draw 10 or 20 cards in a turn. They're all yours. Also looks really cool in foil. Highly recommend a foil Notion Thief. Lazav, Dimir, Mastermind. This is what a general should be. Hex proof. Yes, I like Geist. Yes, I love Laz. He inherently protects himself. yes, you've got to put some type of mill stuff in there. And whenever you put mill in, you also need some type of a safety outlet just in case you mill something insane, which is why we're here looking at consuming Aberation again. And here, the tech that I have to go with him is Dimir Doppelganger. If you're going to put a huge amount of cards in your opponent's graveyard, you need a Scavenging Ooze type effect. You need a Nile Spellbomb type effect. And Dimir Doppelganger is a Dimir effect like that that lets you stop some of the crazy combo stuff that could happen when you start milling everything out of your opponent's deck. Number 2 spot here, I've got Duskmantle Guildmage. In fact, I love all of the Guildmages, but this one, it just feels Dimir. It's got great Dimir artwork. It looks really good. It's a very solid card to throw into your EDH decks. Number 1 spot here, though, it's a little more of a lolsy card. Power level-wise, it might be a little bit lower than some of the other things, but when you get this guy working, he is just amazing. I had him in a 5-color Horde of Notions deck with board wipes, and the number of times that I used other people's creatures against them to kill them was really, really high. I love this guy. Great with something like Heartless Summoning also. There are some chances where you could end up with some combos, but in a really interactive, large creature-based game, this guy is amazing. I highly recommend picking him up. He is extremely inexpensive since he just rotated out, and a Mythic that will be playable in EDH for years to come. Thanks. This has been Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech, looking at the top 10 EDH cards.
First rule
Dimir House.
is you do not talk about.
Dimir House.
Second rule of
Dimir House.
is you do not talk about.
Dimir House.